I thought my night was done. Turns out it's not. That's okay. Happy to help. Have a look when this pops up, shall we? Hasn't quite popped up on the channel just yet, or at least on the Discord. I'll quickly check the channel. There it is. Fantastic. So, stream's up, the chat's up, we're all good to go. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 19, the final round of the PS4 Tier 1 Elite Series on Race Spec Esports. It's the final race in the Race Spec season, if I'm not mistaken. This is literally it, as F1 Logboy has left the session. This will mark the end of what has been a tremendous third season on Race Spec Esports. Something I didn't get to say in the Tier 2 stream was how thankful I am for the opportunity to do this thing. It's a lot of fun. Very happy to help out. It's been an incredibly tough year in 2020. We need all the help we can get in these tough times. But this racetrack is definitely not going to help the situation, I reckon. The final round being the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix here at the Yas Marina circuit, a 5.5 kilometer 21 turn racetrack. It was a $1 billion Herman Tilke project that was supposed to be the holy grail out of his catalogue of racetracks. But as it's proved time and time again in the real world since 2009, it's anything but a holy grail of racetracks. It has provided nothing in terms of decent racing within the recent past, at least in real life Formula 1. Dear me, Zach, absolutely everywhere. But luckily in the virtual world I have seen some alright races around here. It tends to be either a 50-50 between a ball fest and an absolute drama fest. What tends to be the racing quality around here. And in my opinion, and I'm sure many other people share the same one, that this is the worst designed circuit in the history of the sport. I would rate this worse than tracks like Sochi Autodrome and the Caesars Palace car park. If you don't know that racetrack, I recommend you look up the 1982 Caesars Palace Grand Prix. It's quite an interesting tale. Final round of the championship season where Keke Rosberg was crowned champion. They had a Grand Prix circuit, a proper Grand Prix circuit, that was within the confines of the Caesars Palace Casino car park. It's quite incredible. The difference being though, like I would say in terms of a racetrack, I would say Sochi and Caesars Palace are worse racetracks. It's the fact that this thing costs $1 billion is the thing that ticks me off the most. And the fact that the most memorable part of the circuit is the hotel that sits on top of the racetrack that turns 18 and 19. It really doesn't pay for a very good show if the most iconic part of a circuit is a building. But anywho, that's what it's like here at Yas Marina. In terms of a driver's racetrack, it's not too bad. It's got flow, a bit of an awkward flow, particularly here in the technical third sector. But it's got everything you want in a racetrack. You've got high-speed bends in the first sector with a bit of elevation change. You've got the incredibly long straight and turn 11, so you've got ample overtaking opportunities there. So you've got, and also a nice combination of high, medium and low speed corners. It's a pretty good test track in real life. Formula 1 use this as an end of season racetrack, and recently they used it for the young drivers test. Well, I say young drivers, it's basically young drivers plus Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Buemi, who I definitely say aren't exactly young, but anywho. Oh, and Robert Kubica. How could I forget Robert Kubica? He's in that young drivers test as well with Alfa Romeo. But tell you what, we'll ride on board around this 5.5 kilometer 21 turn racetrack. Going to use Jamie James, a driver who I haven't witnessed before. Going to use him to take us on a guided tour around this racetrack. Around the final corner, nice and steady, so then he can get on the throttle nice and early, get a fine exit and maximise his top speed. Down the pit straight through turn 1, a medium speed left-hander. Bit of an awkward run, turn 2 early for the apex, so compromised his line on the exit. Through turn 2 into turn 3, up and over the hill, down the hill through turn 4, and into the mind-boggling chicane of turns 5 and 6. It's basically the B-grade version of Monza's opening chicane, where you see a bit of carnage on the opening lap, but it doesn't provide any sort of overtaking opportunities after the first lap. Opens DRS after turn 7, which has the Ferrari theme park just over the grandstands. Then heading into the first real overtaking opportunity on the track, turn 8, followed immediately by turn 9, this tight double hairpin or chicane sort of thing. That is turns 8 and 9 through turn 10, this fast left-hander down this sort of bent straight towards turn 11. Now we start to follow the marina, but just before that, turns 12 and 13, then into turn 14. We get to see the luxury, expensive yachts on the inside here. That's the marina itself, sort of a B-grade Monaco, really. Then underneath, the most iconic part of the circuit, the hotel. It's nothing majorly special, it's just a building that goes over the racetrack, really. Into the final 2 corners, where we see drivers make plenty of mistakes. Running wide will cost you a warning. Bit annoying in qualifying. Crossing the line, there's a 1 minute 33.664. He has a fair amount of time to find. I know, particularly that mistake at turn 1, it would have cost him just a little bit. Wogboy has invalidated, so we'll go off him. Crossy is the next driver. He's going underneath the hotel as I speak. 3rd gear, 4th gear, just playing in between gears, trying to get that extra rotation around turn 20. Then the final corner, 21, hard on the brakes for 3rd gear. Using all of 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and up towards the line, does a 33 flat. Does the Williams driver. ACW on an out lap. He's done a 32.7. His time from Tier 2 was a 32.5. But remember, in Tier 2 it was slightly different conditions. It was very overcast. Actually, somewhat similar to what it is right now. Very, very dark, very overcast sort of Abu Dhabi. It's not a typical sight to see so much cloud cover. Getting away from ACW on a flyer. Current pole sitter with 6.5 minutes to go. He is down in the first sector. And he's chucked it down into 0 ERS. It's very interesting. He is on a fly. He hasn't validated. Will he chuck it back up? He does. Up through the gears. 7th gear. Opens DRS. 8th gear. Now watch that speedo climb. 320 kilometers an hour. 325. 328 I saw that speedo go up to. 2nd gear for turn 8. 3rd gear through turn 9, modulating the throttle, trying to get as much horsepower as he possibly can to the tarmac. Heading towards turn 11 now. Hard braking zone, using the 100 and the 50 board as a reference. He's down to the 2nd sector as well. So I imagine this is where he's going to try and find time, and that's definitely not how you do it. Incredibly sideways at 13. Lost a lot of time. He will back out and go back into the pits, I imagine. Crossy is on a out lap, in lap, out lap, in lap. Okay. I thought he might have tried to do a 2nd flyer. He's not going to do that though. TP has decided to join us. That will increase the field size to 12. Fantastic. So this man. This guy is around Yas Marina. We're right on board with Zach Crichton. See how he operates around this 5.5 kilometer circuit. Using all of the track limits through turn 1. Doesn't use too much of the curve through turn 2. Neither through turn 3. Uses all of it at the exit of 3, heading through 4. And is purple to the first sector. Using all the track limits at the chicane, then into the tight hairpin of turn 7. It's on the accelerator, nice and gentle there. Very nice throttle modulation there. Didn't need to short shift, got all the power down in 2nd gear. And into turn 8. 100-meter board hard on the brakes. Locking up a little bit, maybe a bit too quick for his liking perhaps. Third gear sideways at the exit. Opens DRS again through turn 10, keeps to the left-hand side, and then he'll move back over to the right-hand side on the racing line, ready for turn 11, purple to the second sector. And he's backed out of the lap, it seems. He has. And he's going to go into the pits once again. Now, he was purple to the first two sectors. I just want to confirm whether that's true or not. So 16.7 and a 39.6 from ACW. We'll have a look at what Crichton did. 16.7, 39.8. Oh, and sideways from Zach at pit entry as well. Got a Finn out on track at the moment, making his way down turn 7. Wog Boy and Jammy James. Jamming, of course, a revving glitch. It's always nice to see. Always remind you that it's a Codemasters game. Let's see what James can do, shall we? Through turn 1. Bit nicer through there. Keep an eye on the first sector, see whether or not he improves. Try to ignore the revving glitch if you can. He's got a 33.6 to improve upon. And he's up by a 10th in the first sector. A pretty healthy improvement, considering the first sector only consists of 4 corners. 3 of them are taken flat. What about Wog Boy? He's up to the first sector. He's on a set of mediums, is he? He is. He hasn't even set a lap time. That's why he's purple, of course. Every time a driver's on sort of their first flying lap, it tends to show purple sectors for whatever reason. I can assure you Wog Boy is not purple on that medium compound tyre. He'd be a fair way off the likes of ACW, Crossy and Wafer, who is currently in third. James is up by 2.5 tenths of a second in the second sector, a fine improvement. This is where time is gained or lost. This technical third sector, a lot of mistakes can be made through here. There's a lot thrown at you, and it's thrown at you fairly quickly as well. Bit sideways there on the exit, but didn't cost him too much momentum from the looks of things. This awkward camera angle where you have to wait for the car to shoot on by. And the final 2 corners. Around turn 21, hitting the apex, 4th gear, up and towards the line. It's a 1 minute 33 dead. He improves by 6 tenths. He found 4 tenths in that third sector. Told you it's a sector to look out for, particularly on this racetrack. Wog Boy's pulled out of a lap. I think John Palanen is the next driver to set a flying lap. Or is it Jon Palanen? I know in Finland J's are pronounced as Y, so it must be Jon Palanen, if I am trying to pronounce that correctly. Though I'm sure I'll be corrected by him at some point. If he watches this back. Underneath the hotel. Coming out of turn 19. On the medium tyre as well. A few drivers experimenting with the medium compound. Oh, sideways, but great car control to save it. Lightning quick reactions there in order to save that car. Does a 36.5. That was an awesome save there. Only a Finn can do that, really. They are born freaks when it comes to driving racing cars. And you got a few Finnish world champions though. Got Keke Rosberg, Mika Hakkinen, Kemi Räikkönen, that's your 3. But what you lack in Formula 1 world champions, you more than make up for it for world rally champions. And that's where that natural talent comes through. Got plenty of those in the WRC. GeForce TP. As there's a bit of a commotion I've just noticed, and it's the gaming wafer at turn 19, just causing a bit of yellow flags there. There goes TP on his first flyer, first and only flyer, as the timer has hit 0. It's a 1 minute 32.9. Jumps to the first row, the front row, but not in first place. In second, about 10th and a half off the likes of ACW. Crossy improves to second place, knocks TP down to third. Miko up by 3/10 in the second sector. If he can continue that, he might challenge fourth. Whereabouts is Crichton? He is in behind the Alfa Romeo. Keep an eye on that Mercedes-Benz. Let's have a look at him, shall we? Using all of the track limits, really throwing this thing about sideways and pulls up at the start-finish line. Would have been interesting to see what that time would have been. But he's going to start from 9th place. On a bit of a show for us. But it is ACW from Tier 2 to Tier 1. A fairly similar time, in fact, 1 minute 32.5. I reckon he's only a few hundredths off what he did in Tier 2. GeForce Crossy in second, GeForce TP in third, Jimmy James in fourth for McLaren, with the Gaming Wafer in fifth, and all of them starting on the soft compound tyre. Pure Gold in the AlphaTauri on the set of mediums, only 1 second off the pace. Starts on the third row as well, nice and high up in the field. Miko, the Finn, starts in 7th on a set of softs. Wogboy on a set of mediums in 8th. Crichton in 9th. And Yompelane, I reckon it's a Y, is how I'm supposed to pronounce it, but I could be wrong. That's the only thing I think that's caught me up with that name. Is that a J? Am I supposed to pronounce it as a J or as a Y? Because I know in Finland it's a Y. I'm pretty sure it's how they pronounce that. But drivers will be loading up to the grid, deciding what kind of strategy they will go for. The most common I have seen is a 2-stop, whether it's a soft, medium, soft, or soft, medium, medium is one I've seen as well. A few drivers on the medium compound, which opens up either a 2-stop or a 1-stop strategy for them, although the hard compound tyre, from what I've noticed, is not exactly the world's greatest tyre. Well, if anything, it's the complete opposite. It's shocking around here, that hard compound. You lack a significant amount of front end grip. You understeer a lot, as I noticed from a driver called GeForce Dre, who was driving for Williams in Tier 2 when he was on the hard compound. The car was basically a boat. It had no front end grip at all. It was basically understeering everywhere. And he wasn't too bad on the medium compound, which he started that race on. The car was pretty on point. So for those guys starting on the medium compound, it's probably just some sort of variant of the 2-stop rather than a 1-stop. Unless, of course, there's a driver in this field wanting to do a 1-stop, but not with the hard compound tyre, either a medium to soft or a soft to medium. That's also a viable strategy, though you're playing a fair amount with tyre life, I must say. Gaming Burger starting from the back of the grid in 12th with Plebs. What are they up to in 11th and 12th? They're starting on the medium compound tyre. They need to make sure they don't get into any trouble early on, otherwise it's basically game over in terms of their race. So they do have to be careful in that regard. Top 5 starting on the soft compound tyre. I reckon those guys will most likely be doing a soft medium soft or a soft medium medium. Basically up to them. Whether someone plays an undercut game and plans to do 2 medium stints, or someone tries to run long, do 2 soft stints during the race. And of course, the ever-present safety car that could come out at any stage that will absolutely shake things up is always something to consider. We'll just have to wait and see, I suppose. But almost a nice and even split. 5 drivers starting on the medium compound. The leading of which is Pure Gold in 6th place. 7 drivers on the softs, the lowest place of which is Zach Crichton in 9th. Though probably has enough car speed to claw his way through the field and claw his way through very quickly, I imagine. But, this will be the final 28 laps of this season as well. Been a very long one. But to be honest, I thought my requirement as a commentator would be over after Tier 2, but apparently no one was streaming Tier 1, so once again I put up my hand just to help out. And hopefully these fellas will put on a good show, cap off what has been a long and a difficult season. 12 cars will line up on the grid here at Yas Marina. 28 laps will cap off what has been a long season, and hopefully these fellas will put on a bit of a show. Well, let's find out, shall we? We have 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go for the final time at Yas Marina, and that is a storming start from G-Force TP. He leads into contact between ACW and Crossy. Oh dear, an accident at turn 1. Crossy loses out. We have some side-by-side action here. I better keep an eye on this before I go back to have a look at Crossy. But that is an unfortunate accident there, a lap 1 accident. Well, drivers will try to find a bit of track to race on. Side-by-side action here between Wogboy and Crichton. Crichton should get a better exit here using that wider line, but Wogboy has got some pretty decent straight line speed. He hangs on for now. As Miku, the Finn, oh, and here we go, down the inside goes Zach. Does Miku do the same thing on James? Oh, not quite. Bit of contact, oh, dearie me, very close racing between these guys at the moment. Very nice stuff indeed. Luckily for Crossy, he's only 1 second behind the Gaming Burger, it seems, so he has recovered a little bit of time. Crichton looking down the inside here. This is for 6th place, can't get the job done though. At the front of the field, there was an absolute storm of a start from TP. That was astonishing. From 3rd place, picked the 2 leaders off with absolute ease before the breaking point into turn 1. He leads the way. ACW in 2nd. Gaming Wafer in 3rd. Pure Gold now in 4th, up 2 positions. And on the medium compound, he's looking good because those guys in front of him, they've done a quali run on those soft tyres, and that wears a fair bit out as Crichton is into the pits. He's done 1 lap on the soft tyre, he's off them, he's onto the medium tyre. And away he goes. Now, there was no front wing change there, so I wonder what this call was all about. But he's met the compound requirement. Surely he's not going to do 27 laps on those things. I don't think you can go that long, can you? Typical lap 2/lap 3 glitch. We'll have to wait a little bit for DRS to be enabled. It's not quite enabled just yet. But, ACW has overtaken TP to retake the lead. But will TP counter-attack here, heading up towards turn 11? He's definitely close. Close but no cigar, it seems. He hangs on to 2nd for now. There's Wafer and Pure Good. Miku the Finn in 6th with James just ahead in 5th. 2 drivers behaving themselves at the moment. And then we've got a bit of a train here forming. Plevs is leading it, but there's a very, very close margin between Jon Palainen and Crossy. Oh! Separated by no greater than the width of a bee's bum right there. That is very close. And Miku has gotten a 3-second time penalty that he'll have to deal with. towards the end of the race. Plevs steadily holding that 6/10 margin, but Crossy is all over the back of the fin and down the inside at turn 3, an audacious move. The Ferrari opened the door, no doubt, but still, you had to commit to it. And commit to it he certainly did. He's into 9th. Oh, and Plebs has made a catastrophic error, and now he's side by side with Crossy, and he's got no DRS as well. So he'll jump up to 8th place, will Crossy. Plebs will try and slot in between himself and the fin, and does so successfully. Gaming Wafer and Pure Gold. Pure Gold on those medium tyres, I reckon he's going to be pretty racy. This guy will be definitely one to look out for at the end stages of this race, because those soft tyres are going to wear out pretty quickly, then the medium tyres are going to switch on. Plebs a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings. Berger's now on the back of the fin, ready to attack, and Crichton's on a flyer. He's gaining in 10th after 10th after 10th on those fresh medium tyres. He is extremely fast in that clear air. Very close stuff between these guys at the moment. It's good to watch. But lap 4, ACW leads 1.2 seconds to TP. 2.1 between TP and Wafer, who is in 3rd. Pure Gold is hanging with Wafer. Gap is only 0.6 of a second with Jimmy James in the McLaren. Plebs has retired in the pit lane. He's had enough, it seems. Either that or he had to go and do something. But he has decided to retire from this race. Reducing this now to an 11-car field. Pure Gold on the back of Wafer. Doesn't go for the overtake. But, as the Englishman, James, almost goes into the back of Pure Gold there. I just saw that. That was very close. Oh, and a bit of a moment there, as Miku's got to run now. Uses DRS. James doesn't have any. Doesn't use any ERS though, does the Finn. He'll stay in 5th. Oh, deep on the brakes though, very deep. But he couldn't make any sort of move, unfortunately. So the battle for 5th place is definitely on. And Wogboy's going to introduce himself to said battle. He's only 0.6 behind. Pure Gold is battling away for 3rd place with the Gaming Wafer. Those soft tyres are just going to be getting worse and worse and worse. Going to be difficult for Wafer to stay in front. That's probably a wise thing. I think that's a very smart move from the Gaming Wafer to go in. ACW has done the exact same thing. Now, ACW did a soft medium race in Tier 2 and it worked pretty well. I reckon he's going to do the same thing. He's pitted at the same time as well. Go back up to this, shall we? The battle for what is now 3rd. James, Miko and Wogboy. 3, 4 and 5 in the order. Yeah, no one was available, and ACW said, "You want to do this for us?" And I said, "Why not?" Oh, gonna be knackered by the end of this, I reckon. There, look at that trio of cars separated by absolutely nothing as they head towards turn 11. Miku looking around the outside of James here. An audacious move that does not work at all. Oh, as Wogboy turned hard right there to avoid the gearbox of the Alfa Romeo in front. He didn't lose too much time though, so you won't be too frustrated about that. And for some reason, Berger's car is constantly ghosting for me. Very strange. But he's in a battle with Jompelainen for 6th place. Yep. Yeah, that name is going to frustrate me all night. Whether it's a Y or a J. And how you pronounce it. It's going to absolutely give me nightmares. I reckon. These three still incredibly close. Through the chicane. And into turn 7. No real opportunities here just yet. Right on board here with Miku. We can see James in front. If we look in the wing mirrors, we can see that pink Mercedes of Wogboy just in behind. Wogboy doesn't have enough straight line speed to attack, but Miku certainly does. Into turn 8, he looks down the inside. Should be a straightforward move, and is a straightforward move. However, James is sure to counter-attack. Into the back, he goes into the Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo slow on the apex. James lost a lot of momentum. He looks down the inside. It's going to be tight between these two, but they're giving each other enough room, and James retakes third. Wogboy just watching. He's got the popcorn and the lounge chair, and he's down the inside into turn 14, and he's got him. He's into 4th place now. A bit of a costly error there, as the other Finn, Jompalainen, has now got a 3-second time penalty himself. Oh no. Well, what a nice little battle here it is for 3rd place. Now, I wonder when these soft runners are going to pit. I reckon Miku should have pit just then. He's lost a lot of position here, and a bit of time as well. I reckon he should have boxed for a set of medium tyres. Try and get an undercut on these two. Wogboy and James out in front of the Finn. Gap has opened up to 8/10, so it's not looking good for the Alfa Romeo driver. TP has also come in to fit medium compound tyres, and he comes out behind Wafer? Question mark? Yes, definitely behind Wafer, but I'm sure he's going to attack here. Definitely close enough to attack, and so is Wogboy. Well before the braking zone, he's now into 2nd place. Or maybe not contact! Oh dear, and there goes Miku. Oh, and Wogboy had to cut the chicane / double hairpin thing. It's very hard to describe turns 8 and 9. Now, did James get any damage from that? He should have, surely. It was a fairly healthy impact, but surprisingly, it's no damage. Maybe a lime green wing. Maybe he's got damage that I can't see. But he's got both end plates intact, so it suggests to me that he's got no damage. Zach has found himself now into 6th place, pitting on lap 1, and the Finn and Wafer both get 3 seconds each. Zach is absolutely flying at the moment. Now we got this 3-way fight for 7th place. They make their way under the hotel. There goes Zach, and there goes the other 3. TP's having a look around the outside. That's not going to work, surely. Yeah, there's the 3-second time penalty. You saw that one coming. They give each other plenty of space though. Good respect for racing. There is Wafer just in behind. He's going to have a look. No, he doesn't. I thought he might have a go there, but probably wisely doesn't go for the overtake. Miko's into the pits as well. He's going to come out behind Crossy. So he's in last place. He's in 11th. He's got a lot of work to do, but he should get an undercut. James, although Wogboy is on the alternate strategy. But I'm pretty sure that's not the AI. It suggests that it is, but I don't think that's the AI. I might have to have a little look at the rating, but that's definitely not an AI. Ooh, maybe. James gets a 3-second time penalty there. His first, I believe? Yes, it is. I thought it was. Wafer is keeping TP honest as well. He's not letting him go. The Burgers trying to keep with Jompalainen here. Oh boy. Now we're sort of hitting a phase where the field is starting to spread out. We tend to see this at Abu Dhabi. Still have a few battles here and there, but nothing that's sort of standing out at the moment. Although, what's happened to Zach? Suddenly TP's on the back of him. I don't think these two were this close before. What has happened? Has Zach's got damage here? Give me a look, see. No. He's going to be overtaken. There he goes. Into 5th place goes TP. As AECW has overtaken James, but James just might be able to counter-attack here, but doesn't. He doesn't switch the car into overtake. He can't just use DRS alone. Zach, what about him? He's running low on ERS. He's used everything. Now he's stuck behind TP. He's not just going to let him back by. Gonna have to fight for that. Lanen keeping Berger honest. And now Crossy's getting involved in this as well. So we've got a nice little scrap for what is 8th at the moment. Because we've got a few pit stops to get through first before we find out what they're truly fighting for. As Crossy has gotten past, he's now into 9th and he's on the back of the fin. James is in. James is into the pits off the soft tyre and onto hards. Okay then, interesting call. Don't know if that's going to work though, because those hard tyres are going to be absolutely horrible. Crossy right on the back of the fin here. Finn is trying desperately to hold on, but it's going to be to absolutely no avail. Crossy gets a decent exit as well. He's going to open DRS, and it should be a very straightforward overtake here. There he goes. Down the inside into turn 8. Now I wonder if the Finn can counter-attack. I don't think he's close enough, though. He has a fair amount of ERS he can use. He isn't going to use it, though. He'll stay in behind the Williams of Crossy as Crichton gets a 3-second time penalty. He's actually lost a fair amount of time to TP here. Might just be something wrong with that car. He is on older tyres, which I'm sure are playing a certain role in his speed at the moment, as Wogboy is in. But losing as much time as he is right now is a bit interesting. Now, what is Wogboy up to? Set of mediums. So he's doing a medium soft race. Going to do 10 laps on each medium compound, probably. You do 8 laps on the soft at the end. And where's James? There he is. He comes out well behind Wogboy. But Wogboy comes out behind Miku, so that undercut has worked. And now Miku is on the back of his fellow Finn. And it should be a relatively easy overtake, I reckon. Wafer and Crichton having a scrap at turn 8. We'll turn to that in just a moment. Miku has gotten past. Can Zach counter? I don't think he can. He hasn't got quite enough car speed to catch up and re-overtake the Renault. Miku holding on to 7th place. And now Wogboy is on the back of Jon Palainen. Oh, and wide goes the Finn, and there goes Wogboy. Capitalising on the simplest of mistakes. He's now into 8th. That's what good racecraft looks like. See an opening, go for it. And you do with such control. And also respect, he didn't push the Finn off the racetrack. There was nothing harsh about it, it was just good driving. Crichton's in for a set of mediums. I'm not sure what this guy's game plan is. Maybe he's doing the 3-stop, trying to make that work. I don't know. He's obviously mucking around at the moment. His first pit stop wasn't for wing damage. He didn't change his front wing. Perhaps he's just trying to do a 3-stop. Wogboy now on the back of Miku. That undercut has worked for Miku. He's in front, but not by a lot. No, Berger didn't set a quality lap. You're quite right. But I'm pretty I'm going to have to check in just a moment as Wogboy has overtaken Miku. That's for 6th place. Now, if I go with gameplay settings... yeah, so they're on 105. So I don't... That's the AI level. That's damage. Like, this isn't mine. Mine's 102. Vehicle damage is simulation for campaign for me. So, yeah, I'm a bit surprised that the AI driver level is so incredibly high for Elite tier. So, that must be the AI driving the car. Let's pay attention to the throttle input. Oh no, that's definitely AI. You can tell from the throttle input there, that is 100% AI, that's not human input. The AI with its own unique traction control, that is for sure an AI in control. So I wonder what Berger is up to, really. With such an incredibly high AI setting as well. James is now gaining on Jompalainen. It's going to be difficult for the Finn to hold the Brit at bay. I'm not sure what the Finn's game plan here is. Oh, it's not looking good though. James is all over the back of the Finn here. He'll use DRS, use a little bit of ERS as well, and slingshot by with absolute ease. Now into 8th place. Wogboy has caught Crossy here. He's now within a second of the Williams in front. There's Miko just in the background. He's staying with him. Gap is 0.8 of a second. Everyone else is more or less behaving themselves. They've got fairly big margins between each other as well. In fact, the closest one is between Pure Gold and ACW. Pure Gold yet to pit as well. I wonder if he's going to try and do a one-stop strategy as Crichton has gotten past the Finn of Jompalainen. He's now into 9th. Finn staying out as well. He must be doing a similar thing to what Pure Gold is doing. Perhaps a one-stop strategy. Wogboy well and truly on the back of Crossy now, only half a second separating 5th and 6th. Around the tight hairpin of turn 7. Crossy, a somewhat awkward exit, he's on the curb, he can't get the power down, and here comes Wogboy with full authority, and he gets past the Williams here. He's into 5th place. Can Crossy counter-attack though, I wonder? Down the next long straightaway after turn 10. Let's have a look through turn 8, then turn 9. Keep an eye on that Williams. Not necessarily the best exit. Then through turn 10. Oh, can Crossy do anything? He's keeping the car in overtake. He wants to keep up with the pink Mercedes of Wogboy. He gets close, but not close enough. He has to settle for 6th place for now. Meanwhile, Crichton has just gotten past James there. That is for 8th. The Mercedes on a flyer. Whatever unorthodox strategy Crichton is doing, it's definitely unorthodox. Pure Gold in. with a fair few laps to go, is he trying to do the one stop? Or is it going to be a medium soft sort of stint for Pure Gold? I don't know. I don't think the medium soft would work. You would lose that much time in the pits. I don't think you'll be able to gain it all back up on track. So I reckon he's just doing a medium to soft. We'll have to wait and see. Crossy keeping Wogboy honest. He hasn't fallen away. Still within a second, and he needs to be. Needs to keep Wogboy honest here. Because Wogboy's going to be on the soft tyre at the end of this race. He's going to be mightily quick. The longer Crossy can keep up with him, the better off Crossy, the better he'll be towards the end of the race. Rest of the field. Pure Gold making his way past Miku and into 6th place. Mikulitsi just worked out properly. Had to say that in my head. I've been trying to piece that together for a little while. I think that's how you pronounce it, Mikulitsi. At least it's nowhere near as difficult as Portuguese. Honestly, that is the worst language ever. It is an absolute pain trying to learn the corner names, most particularly at Brazil. They're all in Portuguese, and oh my word, they are so painful. I suppose that's one of the benefits of the Tilka tracks. They're so incredibly boring that they don't even have corner names. They're all just numbers. Even the good Tilka circuits like Sepang, for example, doesn't even have corner names. It's just all numbers. Speaking of Sepang, God, I wish it was back on the calendar. I wonder if it could take up the to be announced spot in the calendar. That would be pretty cool to see Sepang return. And now with its permanent light facilities, it could even become a night race as well. Those permanent light towers were installed, I think, in 2019. So for the 4 hours of Sepang, it was a Asian Le Mans Series race. It was held at night. So if that comes up as an option for Formula One for 2021, that'll certainly be a welcome one. Because we're not quite sure what's going to fill in that to be announced spot just yet. Oh, sideways for Crossy, dearie me. Always have to keep an eye on what's going on the racetrack. Luckily I was, as gave way for Zen. Crossy's in as well. So Pure Gold will take 2 positions here. He'll jump up to 4th on those fresh, soft tyres. It's an interesting game plan. I wonder how this will work out. There's James on the hard tyre, going to the end. He's in 7th. I'm not sure if these medium tyres on Crichton's car are going to the end. If not, James will get another position. Because James is certainly going to the end of the race on those hards, and I reckon he'll get another one when Mikulitsi goes into the pits as well. But now the field is well and truly spread out. The gap, only one gap appears to be closing really, and that's the gap between Mikulitsi and Zach Crichton. That battle for 5th. Pure Gold is gaining a little bit on Wogboy. Not quite close enough to be of note, though, at this stage, as he's heading his way around the marina. There's Zach. Now, well and truly on the back of the Flying Finn. Heading underneath the hotel once again. He's now within a second of the Alpha. He's low on fuel though, you can see that with the yellow icon in the bottom right. Running even with fuel. Around the final corner. Across the start-finish line, the gap is 0.7 of a second. And the gap between Pure Gold and Wogboy is now only 1.2, almost 1. In fact, if Pure Gold can get within 1 second after turn 6, he just might be able to get DRS on the following straight. Let's have a look. Oh, I reckon he was close enough, and Zach has gone for a move. He's overtaken the Finn, he's into 5th, and Pure Gold does get DRS. He was just close enough. So this will help Pure Gold cause out a lot, having this DRS. Able to conserve a little bit of ERS. Try and build up some reserves. Now he's 0.6 behind Wogboy. 0.5, 4.5, almost 4 at the braking point. Now under 4. So Pure Gold's got good car speed right now. But whether he keeps this sort of speed throughout this stint is going to be incredibly challenging for him. The soft tyre wears out pretty quick around here. It's going to be very, very difficult for him to have any sort of pace towards the end. And there's also maybe a bit of a question mark in regards to punctures as well. But that's whether or not he's going to the end on those tyres. He just might pit for another set, as ACW is in onto a set of soft tyres to most likely go to the end of the race on. He has to try and do a total of 10 laps, which is very much achievable. And he's going to come out behind Zach and probably Mikulitsi. Let's have a look. Not quite. ACW does get out in front of the Finn by just over a second, but Miku should get DRS here. Or maybe not actually. No, he won't. 0.2 off, unfortunately, for the Finn. But ACW, he does have DRS, and he's going to use it here on Zach Crichton. He's in the slipstream, uses DRS, uses a bit of overtake as well, just out of the exit of turn 7. Looking around the outside into the braking zone of turn 8. Oh, I thought Zach was going to back off. He does the exact opposite and sends it down the inside. Through turn 9, then through turn 10. He'll open DRS again, will he? Yes, there we go. Uses overtaking. Slingshots by with absolute ease as well. Zach, surely he won't send it here. No, he won't. He doesn't have enough grip in order to send it there. ACW now in 4th place. His next target is Wogboy. Speaking of, he's keeping with Pure Gold here. Pure Gold has gotten past. Gap 0.8 of a second. I wonder what Wogboy's game plan here is. Does he box now and get onto a set of softs? No, he's staying out. Is it going to try and go to the end maybe? We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, GeForce TP on 12 lap old mediums leading the way. I'm sure he'll have to make a pit stop at some stage. I don't think those tyres could go to the end. At least from my knowledge at the very least. Pure Gold has got a bit of a question mark as well. So both AlphaTauris, I reckon, just might need another pit stop at some stage. I'll have to wait and see. ACW gaining on Wogboy. Gap now 4.6 seconds. Now 4.5 seconds. 4.4. Gaining at a rapid rate here on the racing point. Not much else going on, unfortunately. A bit disappointing to see, really. ACW now only 4 seconds behind. Got some speed in that Haas at the moment. He won Tier 2. So he's probably in good spirits, I have no doubt. You're thinking TP will go to the end, okay. It's a long stint for TP, very long stint. But if he can pull it off, then credit to him. Wogboy's in. ACW, fastest lap, we kind of expect that. A 35.6 he has done. Very fast indeed. Onto a set of soft tyres, obviously. And away he goes out of the pit lane. And he'll come out, well, probably near Crossy. Let's have a look. Underneath turn 1. It's by far and away the most abstract pit exit on the calendar. It's also the most stupid, by far and away in Formula 1 history. And he comes out behind Crossy. And I reckon Wogboy is going to attack. Actually, I have no doubt he's going to attack. Jon Palainen and Berger. Sorry, Berger's in, sorry. Berger's going in for a pit stop. They're not actually battling. But there goes Wogboy into 8th place. In front of Crossy now. Both drivers set to go to the end of the race, so... But we'll have to wait and see what everyone else is up to. James is set to go to the end, same as Wafer. He's in 6th place. That's actually a pretty solid performance, not going to lie, from Wafer. He's in a nice place here on these medium tyres, and he's got a hard buffer with James in behind. Wogboy has to try and find a way past him. And if he can't do it during Sector 2, he's going to spend the entirety of Sector 3 behind James, as TP is actually in. So he's not going to go to the end. He's going to do a 7-lap stint on these soft tyres. He could have gambled with it, but this is probably the much safer option. There we go, underneath, as you do. It is utterly ridiculous, this pit exit. I mean, oh dear, here we go, side by side with James. Oh, close stuff there. And rather critically for TP, he comes out in front of Wogboy. That's very, very critical. If TP came out behind Wogboy, we would have had a battle on, for sure. But Wogboy's now got a bit of work to do if he wants to catch up to TP. Weaving left and right here, Wogboy, he can't do anything. This long straightaway because TP is in front and he'll get DRS again. But Wogboy should get a better exit and does so. Opens DRS, they're going to have a drag race here. Up towards turn 11. Does James fight this? Let's have a look, see? No, he doesn't, and it's a purple second sector for Wogboy. Now he's got his sights set on TP just in front, so we are going to have a battle here between these two, surely. Although TP is on slightly fresh, soft tyres, Wogboy is definitely not a driver who just gives up with absolute ease. He's going to fight for this, I'm sure. Meanwhile, Pure Gold, our race leader by 1.5 seconds. ACW on those fresher, soft tyres is gaining on the AlphaTauri. Quite a rate. Wogboy sets fastest lap, 1 minute 35.303. He's about a second quicker than what ACW did, I think. Or was it a second? Give me a minute. Interval fastest lap. No, it's 3/10. I thought he did a 36.6. My bad. No, it was a 35.6 from ACW. I just remember it as a 36.6. My bad. Anywho, ACW now well and truly on the back of Pure Gold. He still doesn't have DRS though. He was just outside of the 1 second range in between turns 9 and 10. Doesn't get it just yet. Well, need to put it back to interval. That way it'll make it easier for me to spot battles going on. TP's on the back of Wafer here, looking around the long way and gets him with ease. He's now into 4th place. His next target is Crichton. But what is he up to on those medium tyres? Is he planning to go to the end? Or is he going to do another stop and have an absolute sprint to the flag? We'll have to wait and see. Crossy, well and truly in behind James here. Underneath the hotel, around turn 19, this stupid camera angle, then towards turn 20, and then 21. TP fastest lap. 1 minute 34.989. He's into the 34s, TP. First driver to crack into the 34s tonight in race trim. ACW now well and truly on the back of Pure Gold and should get him with ease, surely. Maybe not here, but on the next straightaway. I think it's probably a smart thing for ACW just to stay in behind, and does so. You can hear him just go off the throttle there. You know, just let Pure Gold have the lead for now and then take it away from him here. Round turn 10, and there he goes with absolute ease. Takes the lead of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix with about 4 and a bit laps to go. Wogboy has gotten past Wafer as well. He's now into 5th place with no penalties as well. So just maybe Wogboy might be able to snag a few more positions so long as he doesn't gather too many warnings. And behind, James is keeping Crossy honest. Hanging in behind the Williams in 8th. He gambled with the hard tyre. Doesn't seem to be working for him at this stage. But he's keeping up with the Williams. That's the main thing. If he can keep up with him in the dying laps, and if Crossy can do more things like that, where the car is completely sideways, then it will definitely be a good thing for James, at least. Not so much for Crossy. But ACW now well and truly in the lead. Comfortable margin as well, with plenty of laps remaining. Pure Gold tried to make this one stop work, and he's in 2nd place. Credit to him. He's up there. It's just not going to be the win for him tonight. TP almost within 1 second of Zach Crichton. Oh boy, not too far behind, 2.3 seconds. He needs to keep within 3, I think. Yep, 3 seconds of TP. Speaking of which, he's now got DRS and he's gaining and gaining and gaining on the Mercedes, but he's not going to be close enough to attack just yet. He'll have to wait till the next tour of this circuit in order to make any sort of attempt of an overtake, I would think. Unless Zach is that much slower in this sector that TP finds a way past. I don't think he'll be able to. Ooh, deeper on the brakes, so a lot deeper, my word. That's as close as you want to get to that gearbox without touching. Could well and truly smell the transmission oil, and you can smell some rubber as well. Incredibly sideways, gets the switchback down the inside and gets it done. Yes, he does. So TP now into 3rd place. A few errors there from Zach, missing the apex completely at turn 20, opening the door wide open. Oh, dearie me, a slight correction mid-corner just put me off a little bit there. Gap between Wogboy and TP now 1.9 seconds, so it's looking good for the Racing Point to take 3rd at this stage. Not a bad battle this, and Zach's well and truly out of ERS at the moment. He's spent absolutely everything here. Deary me. Ah. Someone's hungry. That's okay, please. I'm not... I'm a bit hungry myself, not gonna lie. I've effectively done a proper Abu Dhabi Grand Prix for this. 56 laps of this place is 56 laps too many in my opinion. But anyway. These boys have put on a decent show for us. It's not a bad way to end off a season. Now Wogboy is well and truly on the back of Zach here. Down the pitch straight, they begin lap 27. 2 laps to go, the final 11 kilometers of this race. Final 11 kilometers of this season, and Wogboy almost ended it short there. Incredibly sideways at the exit to turn 1. And then through turns 5 and 6, Wogboy sensibly sits in behind, but he is losing time to TP. He needs to be within 3 seconds of the AlphaTauri, and there he goes. Slingshots past the Mercedes. Now into 4th place. Now watch that interval between Wogboy and TP here. That's the interval we have to look out for. Gap now 2.5. Using all of his overtake now, Wogboy. All out of ERS here. Gap is 2.5. Through the chicane. Zach's applying plenty of pressure there. Making sure Wogboy isn't just looking dead ahead, he's also looking a little bit in his mirrors. But ACW is now rounding the final corner. There he is there. Across the start finish line to begin the final 5.5 kilometers of this race. It's been a fine performance. Crossy gets a 3-second time penalty. Qualified on pole. A healthy time of 1 minute 32.5. No penalties as well, neither with the driver behind with Pure Gold. Meanwhile, TP, it could be an AlphaTauri double podium here, but it's looking as if Wogboy just might snag 3rd place here. TP does have that 3-second time penalty. And it's steadily closing more and more. Well, looking good for TP here. Not much going on. The field quite evenly spread out. Nothing less than 2 seconds. Nothing greater than 4 for the most part in this sort of midfield. We do have a 28-second gap between the two Finns and the man who is currently leading this race. A 7.5-second margin. A bit of a sideways moment there, as TP now has 6 seconds worth of pens. That pretty much is the final nail in the coffin, as Wogboy has really dropped off in terms of pace here. Gap now 3.2 seconds. But it's a fine drive from ACW. He rounds the final corner right now. He won in Tier 2. He wins in Tier 1 by a comfortable margin into the wall as well, crossing the line to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Pure Gold will cross the line in a fine 2nd place. Wogboy will claim 3rd. TP in 4th. Zach sideways in 5th. Gaming Wafer in a fine 6th. Crossy in 7th. Jamie James in 8th place. Mikulitsi in 9th. And Jon Pelinen just might hang on to 10th place. The gap is 6.2 seconds. He might lose out to the AI, I believe, of the Gaming Burger. I'll have a look. Although he will most likely be classified in 10th place, as I'm pretty sure that is the AI of the Gaming Burger. As I pointed out, the AI are for some reason on 105. But anywho. Oh, he does get 10th. Oh, I guess... Okay. But there we go. Driver of the day given to Wogboy there. Finishing in 3rd. Seems that this guy likes Abu Dhabi or something of the like. Winning in Tier 2 and winning in Tier 1 as well. Clean sweep for tonight's races here at Abu Dhabi for ACW. Pure Gold in a fine 2nd with the one-stop strategy from mediums to softs, and Wogboy the final place on the podium in 3rd. So the unofficial results for this race until further steward investigation. It is ACW who wins by 6.9 seconds. That's very nice indeed. To Pure Gold in 2nd. F1 Wogboy in 3rd. TP in 4th. Zach Crichton in 5th. Gaming Wafer in 6th, GeForce Crossy in 7th, Jamie James in 8th, Mikulitsi in 9th, Jompelainen in 10th, Gaming Burger, the AI of Gaming Burger in 11th, and Plebs, who unfortunately retired on us very early on, was the only driver who did not finish this race. Not bad. Not bad at all. I've definitely seen worse races around here. I have seen better, there's no doubt, but high quality driving between everyone here tonight, as you'd expect from top tier drivers such as these guys. Very much on top of their game. Work. But I think that will end not only this round, not only this series, but also probably this season. I don't think there are any other races for Race Spec in the F1 community, at least after this point, so I do believe this is the last one. And it wasn't bad at all this season. Definitely had some fantastic races, some of which that I can remember off the top of my head. Hungary in Pacific Tier 2 was definitely one of them. Brazil in Tier 1, America's Series was pretty neat to watch as well. There's another good race that I'm struggling to remember. There was, oh of course, Tier 2 Pacific Series United States Grand Prix. Curving Texas taking a victory after a drive-through penalty. Right at the beginning, he got a drive-through for a jump start and he came back to win that race. It was actually incredible. But no, it was absolutely fantastic this season. And as I mentioned before, it's not been the greatest of years, 2020. It's pretty much been anything but the greatest year. It's been tough, no doubt, and particularly on the Pacific side, it hasn't been great in terms of attendance. I think a lot of leagues in this sort of oceanic region have struggled. I've seen the Americas tiers, for the most part they've been mostly enthusiastic, but yeah, in the Pacific tiers it's been a bit of a struggle. So definitely kudos to the personnel who organise these races and manage to get races together. It's definitely not an easy job to do, I would know. But it's been an interesting year, that's for sure. And now it's time for a bit of a break, a bit of a Chrissy break. To think that's only 5 days away, that's actually insane. But I think that will end it for this series and this season as well. It's been a hell of a lot of fun, been a lot of hard work, I'm sure. I would know. Oh dearie me, and not a bad way for me to end off my season as a commentator with Race Spec, with a double Abu Dhabi stint. Oh, why couldn't it be Brazil or something? I would have loved a double stint in Brazil, but no, I get one at Abu Dhabi. But well, I would like a good rest. I would get a bit more rest, but I've still got commentary duties to do in other tiers, in other leagues as well that I've got to commit to. So my job as a commentator isn't quite done yet, but at least I've got a few days off in between, which will be quite nice. And so will the drivers as well. I hope they've enjoyed themselves. It hasn't been the nicest game to drive on, that's for sure. Buggy as hell, to put it politely. I want to use more colourful language, but I won't. But we've gotten through it. And I do think that will end it. I don't think I have anything else to say, really. It's been a hell of a lot of fun. It's time for a well-earned break. So, for the final time in this season, that I know of at the very least, I've been the Smeg. Thank you so much for watching. have a wonderful Christmas and a Happy New Year. And until next time, whenever that may be, I wish you all a very good night.